Hi, this is Yona from Field Teen Center here with 3 book recommendations for people who have already binged all of Stranger Things and need something new to scratch that itch. If your favorite part of Stranger Things is the banter and the characters kind of goofing off and relaxing together, Babysitter Squad, etc., then you might like Scout's Honor by Lily Anderson. As you might be able to tell by the super cute pink cover, this book is a little bit more lighthearted than some of the others. The focus is more on the inner lives of the characters and their emotions than on the monsters themselves, but don't worry, there are lots of big gross bug monsters going splat all throughout the story. The main concept of this book is that there are interdimensional monsters called mulligrubs that get pulled into our world when they are lured by extreme emotions in humans, which they feed on. And the ladybirds are kind of like Girl Scouts, but they're more like undercover agents. At the surface level, they have tea parties and use their knitting needles for their intended purpose. But actually what they're doing is covertly fighting these mulligrubs and, stabbing them with knitting needles and also swords. So our main character is Prudence, and she does not want to be a Ladybird Scout anymore because she's watched too many people die, including her best friend. And unfortunately, her mom, who is like very meddling and very into the Ladybird Scouts, has sort of forced her to train a couple of little baby bird scouts, very young girls who are being trained to become full scouts. And Prudence agrees to do this because it's her last chance to get a high enough ranking in the Ladybird system that she can buy the tea of forgetting and just dab out full force. Also worth knowing, Prue is Latinx and curvy. There's also a minor Black character and a minor queer character. So like I said, this book really emphasizes themes like emotional resilience and managing your own emotions and checking in with your own feelings. And a lot of the monster fighting scenes are a little bit more humorous, or they're more about watching all these different characters and their opposing personalities try to work together. I think one of the things that makes this book especially charming is that we get excerpts of the Ladybird Handbook to Fighting Monsters. So we get to learn a little bit of the biology of the different kinds of mulligrubs, what they look like, and how they behave, so that when you see them in the book, you have a little bit more context and it feels just that little bit more real. This one will have you second guessing ordinary occurrences and the Girl Scouts who are selling cookies on your corner. So if you would like to bring a little bit of the surreal and the monstrous into your everyday life in a more lighthearted way, definitely check this book out. If your favorite part of Stranger Things is the mystery of the Upside Down, how does it work, what does it want, what is it, then the book for you is Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado. The situation here is that there is this urban legend called the Echo Game or the Train Challenge. And those who play come back from their challenge shaken or totally different or compromised, or they don't come back at all. Our main character, Raquel, is a total rule follower, doesn't want to make her very strict Dominican mom upset in any way, shape, or form. So she's not the type who would normally be tempted by the Echo Game, but she gets pulled into it because her friend and crush, Charlize, her cousin disappeared after he played this game, and she is determined to figure out what's going on and try to help him if she can. So where Charlize goes, Raquel is gonna go also. This is a sapphic love story, though the focus is definitely on the mystery of the Echo Game and the monsters that are in it. And the romance is more secondary. It's definitely there, and the queer angst is definitely an important part of the story. But I think if you're mostly interested in monsters, you're gonna be okay. Just like the Upside Down is like a twisted version of our world, the Echo Game presents a twisted version of the Bronx, focusing on things that happened in the 70s. It's really cool because this is real history. So when you're reading this book, you get a little bit of a history lesson about some of the things that happened in the Bronx and some of the shady practices that were done by people in power. But it'll give you some of that kind of retro vibe that Stranger Things has as well. All of the major characters are Black, most of them are Latinx. I think this story was especially good at building up the tension before we start to get into the heart of the Echo game and seeing some of these monsters face to face. We've also got some really juicy body horror, so if you're into extra dimensional mold suffocating people and infecting other people, get ready to party, because that's what we got here. A cool secret about this book is if you look at the cover, behind Raquel, you can see little tiny insect legs kind of peeking through and around the train car. And if you have a hardback copy of this book and you take off the dust jacket, surprise! Last but definitely not least, if your favorite part of Stranger Things is just that prickly feeling down the back of your neck when something is not right and you know something messed up is about to happen and you don't want it but you kind of do, then you should definitely check out House of Holo by Krystal Sutherland. This is one of the most genuinely upsetting but like deliciously creepy books I've read in a long time. Iris and her two sisters, Vivi and Gray, are weird, and everybody knows it. For Vivi and Gray, they make their weirdness kind of alluring, but Iris has always tried to minimize how weird she is, just kind of go with the flow. But when her sister Gray goes missing, she can't really hide from it anymore. Finding Gray means she has to explore her own past and this thing that happened to all of them when she was really little that she can't remember, but she knows was bad. The three of them went missing on New Year's Eve one year, and they came back a couple days later, changed. And now they can do weird things, like they can control other people with their voice, they can draw people to them, but it's not just regular people that are drawn to them. There's also this gory zombie guy who has a bull's skull over his face and definitely means them harm. He's also following them unrelentingly. And sometimes Iris feels like she has things crawling under her skin. So that's fun. I loved this book. It's just written so beautifully. Like Burn Down, Rise Up and in Stranger Things, parts of this story take place in this kind of alternate dimension. It's a little different because it's not quite a twisted version of our world. There's something else going on, but it'll definitely give you some of that feeling of trying to unravel a mystery of this uncanny thing from another world and what exactly that other world is and what its rules are. All three of these books are available through the Free Library of Philadelphia, but I listened to each of them as an audiobook on the Libby app. So if the copy at your local library is checked out and you want to try to get it quicker, try looking for it as an ebook or an audiobook. If you're looking for even more book recommendations, or if you just want to say hi, we would love to hear from you. You can get in touch with us by DMing us on Instagram, by emailing us, or by visiting us in person at Field Teen Center. We're located at 1901 Vine Street in Philadelphia, and we're open Monday through Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. These hours can change from time to time, so for the most up-to-date information, be sure to follow us on social media or check out our website. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you find something great to read.